The climate has always changed, the climate is changing, the climate will continue to change. Humankind does not have the power to do very much about it, and we would be arrogant to assume that we can.
Indeed, for joining us. Now, supporters of climate change theory say there is hard evidence taken from perma-ice showing a sudden rise in CO2 levels in the last century, thus proving climate change. So, how do you see it all?
The answer is that there's not a particularly dramatic rise in CO2, and anyway, carbon dioxide does not affect the climate. I think that's a fundamental statement. That is the misconnection that the climate warmists or alarmists have made. So
are you saying there's no connection then? CO2 obviously caused by man, by industry, so you're doubting the fact that there has been a climate change as a result of mankind's actions?
Yes, there is climate change, of course, but that is a natural thing. But no, it isn't due to man's actions. Anyway, man's amount of carbon dioxide represents a tiny proportion of the shift anyway, about 4%. Weather extreme events always take place, always have, and always will. To blame them on human emissions is simply pointless, because there is no real connection.
So how come governments and businesses are taking climate change very seriously? We're all being encouraged to change our lifestyles. They wouldn't be doing it for nothing, surely.
Well, there are all sorts of reasons why governments want to do things. Not all of them are very intelligent. One of the reasons they want to do it is to raise taxes. The carbon taxes that they intend to put on businesses, which will begin, I think, this next year, are ways of raising revenue, and of course revenue is a problem.
More than 100 new taxes are now being developed under the umbrella of curbing greenhouse gases. The new taxes will be paid directly to the private bank consortium. At the producer level, taxes will be paid on farm animals' flatulence. At the consumer level, there will be carbon taxes on all forms of meat, beef, poultry, pork and fish. All cars will be fitted with satellite tracking boxes that will tax driving by the mile. And an added tax will be placed on all fossil fuels, including motor oil and natural gas. All plastic products will have a carbon tax added. Outdoor space heaters and fireplaces are to be taxed. All electricity produced by coal-powered plants will be taxed. Under the cap-and-trade system, citizens will be forced to pay taxes on thousands of products to private cap-and-trade services owned by Al Gore and other elitists. There will be taxes on light bulbs, water, trash pickup, air travel, train travel, bus, ship, medicine, steel production, mining, clothing, laundry, asphalt are just a few of the new taxes to be levied.
Your argument is quite persuasive, but not many people, well, I shouldn't say not many, but there are many who simply don't support your theories. They say that you're wildly wrong, you're not taken seriously. So are you not getting your message across rightly? Because some people, quite frankly, say you're nutters. There is something going wrong, and you are getting it wrong.
As to we are a sort of a small group in a corner doing this, it's very difficult to get the opposite position out into the media. We're very grateful that Russia TV at least gives us an airing. We can't do that with our own national television here in London. The BBC just pays no attention. But then their pensions are paid by green industries, as it turns out. So they have a reason in their case for not letting skeptics speak.
All right, well, Reverend Philip Foster, enjoying Climate Fool's Day there in London. We really appreciate your time here.
We did indeed.
Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Yes, climate change skeptic and author joining us there in London. Thank you.
The polar ice caps of Mars are receding at several miles a year, much faster than ours, and that the moons of Saturn and Jupiter are melting. In fact, several of their moons were ice and are now liquid seas. Now, how are SUVs causing that, David Rothschild?
That's because those planets are closer to the sun, my friend.
No, Jupiter and Saturn are not closer to the sun. Neither is Mars.
Yes, sir. I think you'll find, right, that the very simple matter, and what I wanted to say, and this is my final point, forget your taxation theory, because actually it's not taxation.
Put a price on the carbon. A tax is the best way. Cap and trade can also do it.